Hello, folks. We are on Psalm 37. This is He will not forsake His saints. This is one that I have taught some from, and that is about the desires of your own heart and the desires of God's will. Okay? It says, "Fret not yourself because of evildoers. Be not envious of wrongdoers, for they will soon fade like grass and wither like the green herb." The wrongdoers, do not fret against those kinds of things. Do not fret against those people. Instead, keep your eyes on God. "Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and befriend faithfulness." Faithfulness. That is something we need to have. That's one of the fruits of the Spirit. "Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in Him, and He will act. He will bring forth your righteousness as the light of your justice as the noonday. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. Fret not yourself over the one who prospers in his way, over the man who carries out evil devices. Refrain from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not yourself, it tends only to evil. For the evildoers shall be cut off, but those who wait for the Lord shall inherit the land." Those who wait for the Lord shall inherit the land. "In just a little while, the wicked will be no more. Though you look carefully at his place, he will not be there. But the meek shall inherit the land and delight themselves in abundant peace. The wicked plots against the righteous and gnashes his teeth at him. But the Lord laughs at the wicked, for He sees that his day is coming. The wicked draw the sword and bend their bows to bring down the poor and needy, to slay those whose way is upright. Their sword shall enter their own heart, their bows shall be broken. Better is the little that the righteous has than the abundance of many wicked. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord upholds the righteous. The Lord knows the days of the blameless, and the heritage will remain forever. They are not put to shame in evil times. In the days of famine, they have abundance. In the days of famine, they have abundance. But the wicked will perish. The enemies of the Lord are like the glory of the pastures. They vanish like smoke. They vanish away. The wicked borrows, but does not pay back. But the righteous is generous and gives. The wicked borrows and does not pay back. But the righteous is generous and gives. For those blessed by the Lord shall inherit the land, but those cursed by Him shall be cut off. The steps of a man are established by the Lord when he delights in his ways. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understandings, but delight in Him, and He will make your path straight. Proverbs 3:5-6. Thank you. "Though he fall, he shall not be cast headlong, for the Lord upholds his hands." The Lord holds your hands. Amen. "I have been young and now am old, yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken, or his children begging for bread. He is ever lending generously, and his children become a blessing. Turn away from evil and do good, so shall you dwell forever. For the Lord loves justice. He will not forsake His saints. They are preserved forever. But the children of the wicked shall be cut off. The righteous shall inherit the land and dwell upon it forever. The mouth of the righteous utters wisdom, and his tongue speaks justice. The law of his God is in his heart. His steps do not slip. The wicked watches for the righteous and seeks to put him to death. The Lord will not abandon him to his power, or let him be condemned when he is brought to trial. Wait for the Lord and keep His way, and He will exalt you to inherit the land. You will look on when the wicked are cut off. I have seen a wicked, ruthless man spreading himself like a green laurel tree. But he passed away, and behold, he is no more. Though I sought him, he could not be found. Mark the blameless, and behold the upright. For there is a future for the man of peace, but transgressors shall be altogether destroyed. The future of the wicked shall be cut off. The salvation of the righteous is from the Lord. He is their stronghold in the time of trouble. The Lord helps them and delivers them. He delivers them from the wicked and saves them because they take refuge in him. Amen. Glory to God. Okay, this Psalm 37, this can be called a wisdom psalm because it is a hymn that reflects the themes normally dealt with in the wisdom literature. It's particular, it addresses the problem caused when godless people prosper. It helps the faithful to see that it really is better to stay loyal to the Lord, a loyalty expressed to contentment, honest dealing, generosity, and just speech. The Lord will make the distinction between the two groups clear in his own time. The faithful must wait patiently. Okay, so this is just a little excerpt in my Bible, and I love it. I want to get on this verse, verse 4. It says, delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord, trust in him, and he will act. Okay, that is verse 4 and 5. Okay, so a lot of people take this out of context. And, sorry, I hit the table. A lot of people take this out of context. And the way they take it out of context is they say, oh, well, if I delight myself in the Lord, he's going to give me the desires of my heart. He's going to give me a Ferrari. He's going to give me this. He's going to give me that. He's going to give me everything. Okay, here goes to that contentment. If you are delighting in the Lord, if you are truly delighting in the Lord, and you're not just saying you delight in the Lord so that you can get whatever you want, if you are truly delighting in the Lord, you will be as what Paul says in Philippians 4, of being content. See, you will say, I don't need that Ferrari. I don't need those worldly possessions. No, all I need is you, Lord. And I need more of you. And yes, I need to be able to live. Yes, I need to be able to still afford my home. But I need more of you. And see, that's when the desires of your heart will be given to you. Now, that doesn't mean that God can't give you those things. But he's giving you the real desires of your heart. To do good, to do godly things, to be able to give generously, to be able to do more, to be able to help those, widows, orphans, needy, things like that. He's going to be helping you with those desires of your heart, to have more knowledge, to have more understanding, to not have all this like worldly possessions of money and just flashy things that the world desires. No, he's going to give you the desires of his heart that are aligned with him, aligned with his heart and what he would have. And it says, commit your way to the Lord and trust in him, and he will act. He will do. He will move. He moves. God is always on the move. But we also need to be committed to him. And this verse 21, the wicked borrows and does not pay back, but the righteous is generous and gives. Okay, folks. Now, I know in Psalm 35, I kind of talked about debt a little bit. Like making fun of somebody that has a bunch of debt, and it comes onto you. Well, this is something I want to talk about, is not paying back what we've borrowed. See, that's what the wicked does, is they'll borrow money. They'll rob Peter to pay Paul. You heard that phrase. Well, you're taking out a loan here to pay off this loan over there. You're taking out this loan, you pay, you're doing things like that. Or a Ponzi scheme, is another thing. But see, that's what the wicked does. They borrow things, but they don't pay back. But the righteous generously give, because my husband's dad, Clinton Sr., he was the man that would literally give you the shirt off of his back. He would give you anything. He would, even if it was his last $20, if one of his children or somebody else needed it, he would give it to them. He would. He was that kind of a man. And, but he was such a generous person. He was so generous. So generous. And I believe that is something, that one of the things that generation carried for sure. I mean, my grandmother's the same way. She is such a giving person. And, in our generations that we are in today, I'm a millennial, is the generation I am in. We weren't taught to be very generous, like to be so giving. We were taught more, it's all about me, do what I want to do. The lyingness of, oh, well, it's self-love, it's self-care, it's self-this, it's self-that. Yeah, you know what? That all goes against the Word of God, all right? It totally goes against the Word of God, because we should be more content with what we have. And that's why, you get yourself into a lot of debt, is because you're not content with what you have, and then you don't pay it back. And that is not how we Christians should be. We should be more generous and more giving, and honestly more humble, and realizing I don't need all this ridiculous stuff. I don't need it. And it actually says, the wicked draw the sword and bend their bows to bring down the poor and the needy, to slay those whose way is upright. Their sword shall enter their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. That is something that I think that a lot of people and a lot of churches lack, is giving to those needy, those really needy and poor in their own communities. Oh, it is so easy to be sending money to other countries and to things like that. But Phil Wickham, I think, has a song. I want to say it's Phil Wickham. I don't know. I feel really bad. I don't know who has the song, but it's a song that is talking about, it's got to start right here. It's got to start right now. Like, you go into your church, you have your coffee, you have your light show, you have your good music, you have your comfy seats, you have all of this comfort. You have all of this comfort. But as soon as you walk out into the church, if somebody were to come up to you and say, sir or ma'am, do you have $5 you can spare? Like, I'm starving. I haven't eaten in 3 days. Are you going to stop and say, yeah, here you go, here's your $5? I mean, because you can tell that they really are hungry and they're not just somebody just trying to get some drugs? Or are you going to just look at them and go, oh, well, there's a soup kitchen about 10 blocks down the road? Are you going to be willing to help that person right in that moment? Or are you not? Are you going to turn them away? Because the wicked would turn them away and draw their sword, that sword of your tongue. All right. And, okay, so there's a lot in this about the wicked being cut off, the wicked, having a demise, things like that. And he even says it in verse 25. He says, I have been young and now I'm old, yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken or his children begging for bread. He is ever lending generously. His children become a blessing. Okay, so there is a lot in this of where, it's talking about God supplying. The blessed will inherit the land. The Lord will keep his way, and he will exalt you who inherit the land, and you will look on when the wicked are cut off. There's so much behind that of him giving generously. But it's also one of those of he's giving you your needs. I know in the Lord's Prayer it says, give us this day our daily bread. In the story of Elijah, he is in the wilderness during the drought, and the Lord supplies supplied him from birds bringing him his bread and meat 2 times a day, in the morning and in the evening. And he was there by water, a flowing stream of water. He was taken care of. Now, I know a lot of people will be like, I don't want to be out in the wilderness for a few years. Well, yes, but no, I wouldn't want to be out there either. But the thing is the Lord provided for him. He provided for him the whole time that he was out there. Now, I know some of y'all would be like, well, I don't get to have AC. I don't get to have a heat. I don't get to have... Well, it's not to say that he didn't have some kind of comfort there. I mean, he had his food provided for him. He had water provided for him. He had a place to sleep. He probably had, a means to build a fire and, things like that. And so, he did have some measure of comfort while he was there. But the main point is God provided for him while he was there. He did not let him go hungry. He was provided for. And in a very strange way, it was birds that was bringing him his food. Birds were. And, and it was twice a day. And a lot of us, I think we eat way too much because we're not content. We're not content with those things. That's why it was one of those great, amazing things to fast. That is why we honestly should always fast. We should fast. It doesn't have to be a daily thing, but possibly even a weekly thing. Just fast. Give up one meal to God and say, God, I don't need this because I'm content in you. I'm praying to you that I know you will get me through this. And I don't need that meal. All I need, I don't need this meal today. I don't need breakfast, or I don't need my lunch. I don't need my dinner, because I am giving it up for you. I am praying and I am fasting for you. That's when a lot of breakthroughs come too, is when you have that prayer and fasting. That prayer and fasting. And studying your word too while you're doing that. But the salvation is from the Lord. He is the stronghold in the time of trouble. Let the Lord help them and delivers them. The Lord helps them and delivers them. He delivers them from the wicked and saves them because they take refuge in him. He is where our refuge should be. He is our stronghold. Oh, Yeshua is the cornerstone. He is the cornerstone. And it is something that we need to understand, that our faith needs to be in Yahweh. We always need to be looking up to him. We do not need to be worried about the cares of the world. Yes, we need to pray against these things of the enemy. We need to pray for these children. Oh, we need to pray for kids. All kids, not just kids in your church. Now, yes, pray for the kids in your church, but pray for all kids that are growing up in this world, and that so many of them do not have good, strong morals being inputted into them. They are not having this foundation laid with the Lord at such a young age to know that they can rely on him, to know that they can trust in him, to know that they need to be God reliant and not self-reliant. And because we are coming to the time of trouble, a serious time of trouble. And we need all the prayers going up. All the saints need to be shouting out to him, need to be crying out to him. We all need to be talking to him so much more. There's one YouTuber that I like to listen to, and he always says we need to prepare mentally, spiritually, and physically. We need to be prepared. Well, we do. We need to be prepared spiritually, for sure. And with spiritually comes mentally, and with mentally becomes physically. All three of those are tied one to another. And if you are not prepared in one of those categories, you will have some troubles. But that is why You need to be God reliant right now and listening to Him and following His directions right now, especially in your life. so that you will be able to withstand this time of trouble. So you will not waver to the left or to the right, but still be focused on God. Okay? I don't want to scare anybody. We need to be more God reliant. So please go back and read Psalm 37. It's a good psalm. It's a very good song. And it helps you to remember to be content, honest, generous, and have just speech. Have your speech be clean. Okay, until next time, I pray the Lord blesses you, keeps you, makes His face to shine upon you, and on all things is gracious unto you. And God bless you. And have a good day. Have a really good day.